Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co-host, Marissa from Earth to Marissa. Hi, Marissa. How are you?
Hello, happy to be here another month down with these beautiful conversations. I'm so excited to dive in today.
Yes, me too. And it's solstice season. It's new moon season, and
Yes.
Jupiter is really making a big splash right now.
Hmm.
And so many different changes going on in the universe. So, what Marissa and I wanted to talk to everybody about is sort of uh, defining or sharing what we know about the masculine and feminine and the energies and what we sort of sense with the shifting of this going on right now. So, Marissa, if you wanted to get started on your interpretation.
Yes. So, masculine and feminine energies to me really are just part of the different aspects that make up self. So we have a soul, and then we have all of these different aspects of self, similar to the branches that I would say branch off of source. Source is where it comes from, all the energy, all that is. And then there are different branches and aspects of self. And so we are aspects of source, and the feminine and masculine are also aspects of source that run through every living thing. I see them as, the yin, the yang, the feminine, masculine, the soft, the hard. It's basically speaks to the dualistic nature in our universe. However, when we are able to bring them into balance within self, we then are able to shift how masculine and feminine energies show up in our life, the outside world, and really, they are just once you understand where your masculine and feminine is on an internal state, you are able to kind of see where you might be wounded, where you might be drawn, or how your energy works. For me, I have a little bit more masculine, I would say. I'm a relatively, I have a lot of willpower. I get stuff done. I tend to be kind of like a bull in a china shop sometimes with my Aries moon, Leo rising. And so, that's a lot of like masculine energy. The masculine is really the I take on things, I create the structure, I am um the giver. And then the feminine is this softer, more psychic, more nurturing, very in tune, very loving kind of part of ourself. It's the receiver. And I'm learning to tune into that, and we all have this balance of both. uh but as you can see on the planet, the balance has been very much so masculine's up here, feminine is kind of being suppressed, and we're learning and moving through our own internal uh rebalancing. So it's interesting, and we'll dive into that further. But I guess that is how I see them in
Mhm.
the
And
energies.
I love the buzzwords that you naturally come out with, Marissa. And one of the buzzwords that I thought was spot on, you nailed it right out of the gate, is balance. It's
Mm.
about balance. It's about harmony. It's about that yin and yang. It's about balancing the two. And when these are out of balance, it requires like a course correction or a
Mhm.
remedy to um, not necessarily fix, but to bring back into alignment. Because
Mhm.
in our divine aspect, there is balance and harmony. There is a balance of divine masculine and feminine. The angels are, what would you call that? androgynous, and
Yes.
they are both masculine and feminine. And it's just so absolutely beautiful to
Mhm.
see and to feel and to understand that we are all of these. And
Mhm.
in this 3D incarnation, we have taken on a gender role, which sort of like, leans one side or the other, but it's okay. It's not that it is absolutely all of these things. But I love also that you said that the masculine is the one who gives, the one who puts out, the one who takes action. And the feminine is the one who receives, who listens, who responds, who absorbs. There's that give and receive is that harmony and that balance in the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I just love the androgynous way that the angels represent themselves to remind us that to be in balance of our divine masculine and divine feminine is bliss.
Mhm.
It is our intended state, is the, what is to be in divine alignment is to have these two in balance and harmony.
Mhm, mhm, absolutely, and I feel like we can absolutely get there. It just we came here at a time where the planet has leaned to one side for a very long time, and that's kind of what we're seeing with this destruction that's taking place with, the so-called rulers of the world, or who they once were. A lot of them are this masculine energy. And we see how this imbalance has created a lot of suffering, a lot of suppression, a lot of chaos in the world. And that is a reflection of our internal state as well. So I love that you mentioned that the angels present as androgynous, because that's too. I work with a lot of galactic beings, extraterrestrials, and a lot of them are also pretty androgynous. Some will come forward with a more feminine energy or a masculine energy, and I'll use those terms he, she in like channeling. However, it's just for our understanding, but it's not necessarily a, like you said, a gender role. It's always interesting and tricky trying to like communicate what is coming through, but they really have come into balance. And that is how too they are able to live in these different realms where manifestation is just occurring in every moment, where they think a thought and it comes. And it's because of that harmony that has been created through the masculine and the feminine. And really the feminine is asking to be heard right now on earth.
Oh,
It's asking to be seen. It's asking to take up space in the nurturing. I think all of us, every single one on this planet, even Mother Gaia, is asking for nurturing. Where have we forgotten ourselves? Where have we forgotten each other? Where have we not been listening or not in tune with what is actually meant for us? Where have we been put into a program or really sometimes brainwashing structure where these beliefs are causing us to force, and push and create and get out. Um, that is really, it's creating a lot of suppression of our truest light, of our truest gifts that we were here to bring, of our truest nature. And we're being asked to look at that and to shift. And a lot of us are way showers. We're here to really create massive shifts on the planet. And so it can feel hard and it can feel overwhelming. And to, as someone that is actively trying to tap into my feminine nature. That was my like New Year's Eve kind of quote or motto for this year, was to like embrace my femininity, fall into my feminine nature, and to create over consume, and to create through this softness rather than the force, because it's easy to think we have to go and do, but if we're doing all the time, we're not being. And so it's important that we allow ourselves to be. However, it can be difficult in a society, or in, when you're playing in the matrix, but you feel as though you're detached from the matrix. It can feel a little jarring as to, well, my feminine wants this. It wants to lay in the sun all day, but I have to go to work. But it's meeting those energies where they are in every moment. And so how can you bring your feminine into the workplace, or how can you bring your feminine into this relationship where you've maybe had to be more masculine at times? It's meeting it in every environment, in every situation, and then that will ultimately create change in your life if you are welcoming in balance into all realms of your life and not just outside of the matrix, if you will.
Mhm. And, there is no right or wrong, and everybody has their own evolution and spiritual journey. And it is this pushback that we feel that causes us to grow. And if we didn't have this pushback, we wouldn't have the knowingness of our lack or our imbalance. So, I love that when you say when we're in the workplace to incorporate our divine feminine, and people are like, well, if I become vulnerable or if I just don't produce, then I will be,
Mhm.
stepped all over. But there's just a balance in it, like taking care of yourself, taking your breaks, do what not in your actual job. Like if you're a salesperson and you have to be in sales and do a presentation for an hour, that's not, I mean, I guess you could include the feminine aspect of that as well with listening. It really does. There's so many different minute aspects and areas that we can incorporate into our lives, that it's not just one way. And again, like I said, there's no right or wrong. And it is for our soul to experience this as maybe somebody who feels a little bit more imbalance, and for somebody to maybe strive to bring that balance and that alignment back, because
Mhm.
it's in that alignment that um, it's in the alignment that we find our divinity, and
Mhm.
that we come into this flow and be one with the universe, be one with the consciousness energy. And that's really what we're maybe striving for or wanting to be in alignment with. And yeah, so
Mhm.
how
And
about
there,
you? Mhm.
yeah. I want to point out, Illumination Portal mentioned it does feel like there's balance in every moment, and there really can be. And I think it's learning where you have maybe a wounded feminine or a wounded masculine that will help you to determine how to welcome those energies in when you are strongly set in the other. So, what I mean by that, Jacqueline Scholes, one of my really good friends in the Netherlands, she came on my podcast, the Earth to Marissa podcast, recently, and she is an expert in this. She helps people to rebalance these two beautiful energies in their own body. And what she says is that, if you have a wounded feminine, and I would say a wounded feminine either looks like you've shut off to receiving, or maybe you're a little too in feminine flow and you actually don't have enough masculine in you. And so you're just kind of all over the place. You're unreliable, you're flighty, you're kind of living up here. And in that example, she brought through, okay, well, then we need to invite more structure into your life, because if you're just all over the place, you're not actually going to get anything done. And a lot of spiritual people, I bring up this example, a lot of spiritual people, God love them, they do have very strong feminine energies. If you've ever met a spiritual person that's trying to run a business, it can go any type of way because the structure isn't necessarily their strongest suit. The structure, the finances, the, taking care of the thing, the showing up and doing it, the consistency, that can be hard for them because they are receiving, they're receptive, they're in tune, they're with the flow. But we need both in order to be our brightest and highest selves. And so she helped me because sometimes I can get a little too in my feminine in that regard as to structure and like timeliness. And so how can we create that structure? And I look up here, I got a calendar, like a whiteboard that's really helping me. And by creating structure, by shifting and welcoming in that masculine energy that I already know I have in these other realms, just shifting it to then help and hold my feminine energy when it is coming through, that actually creates this beautiful harmonious relationship between the two. Like even today, this is we used our masculine to schedule and create the container, and now since the container has been created, we are able to flow and share and listen and like be fully in our feminine. And I love that example as to how to bring it into harmony. And then same with your masculine. If you feel like you're a little too wounded in your masculine and you're constantly doing, how can you maybe invite moments of stillness, moments of just being, or moments of sitting, connecting with the nature or the ground? It's really how to bring it into balance internally is just writing out maybe what you feel you're trying to fix, and then noticing, okay, well, I seem to be a little harsh on myself. I seem to want things to be this very specific way. I seem to force myself to be a certain type of way. And it's like, okay, well, that sounds a bit more wounded masculine. So how can we invite that, those moments of nurturing yourself, those moments of acceptance too? I think feminine really holds that acceptance frequency, because the feminine energy, it really is close to source in, everything is happening for the highest and best. But how can we create that structure for it to happen in the highest and best? And so internally, if you're looking to balance these energies, it's really just getting real with yourself, and then discovering, okay, which one do I need a little more of? And then how can I create moments for that to come into my life?
Yeah, I love that. And acceptance is that buzzword as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, you know, it is in recognizing these tendencies that we may have, that we say, is there a way, um, and I hesitate. My mind's going to easier way, but it's not an easier way. Is there a more fluid way? Is there a more higher vibrational way for me to conduct myself or talk to myself, or be in non-judgment? Look for opportunities to sort of shift the criticism and judgment into that allowance and acceptance. Um, and it's not always easy, but just self-examination or self awareness, just self-awareness, just being aware of it. Like, oh, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I didn't mean to say that, like
Mm-hmm.
you would, and then just being aware of it is elevating. It's education, it's learning. Now I know that I don't want to say that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and or to say that to myself, or to behave like that, or to think those thoughts. And it really is just a moment by moment choice. And we have our lifetimes here to learn these lessons, and that's why we're here. But I love the balance and harmony, the give and receive. Both of these things are one. You can't have one without the other, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what this environment of duality is teaches us. that there's good in all things, that we don't
Mhm.
see the good in all things, but all things are necessary in order to learn and to grow, and to be in acceptance of things that are not desired, because now we know that is what we don't desire. Like, it is an education, it's a form of education. If we can just sort of look at the things that are what we do not prefer, and see them as educational, avenues,
Mhm.
or just an awareness. Um, it, you know, it, it it really is a beautiful thing, a difficult thing. It's so very detailed,
Nuanced.
and
Yeah.
and and has so many different avenues. Um,
Mhm.
But so how is this, when you say it's shifting on the planet, because it was like acceptable to be out of balance in that divine masculine and feminine, and the way that it's shifting is through awakening and awareness. And are there more ways that we can see how these energies are shifting?
Yeah, I think people are really starting to tune into what it actually serves them. And by following what actually serves them, we're seeing the structures dismantle. So, for instance, a lot of people are starting to put their kids in different types of school systems, homeschooling, Montessori, forest school, different types of schooling, because they find like kids are not being served well when they are held for 8 hours a day at a desk learning this very rudimentary crap sometimes, And so we're seeing that is kind of evolving in a different way. A lot of people are looking for other avenues of work, even. And then, two, we see this subtle energy of AI coming in, and this is interesting. However, stay with me. So we see this subtle energy of, oh, a lot of jobs are going to be eventually taken over by this new technology. A lot of humans are no longer going to have factory jobs. That might cease to exist. Even I've heard like truck driving might, they might create like, so that is creating a shift that then is also in tandem with this other shift where people are coming back to like, does this 9 to 5 actually support me? Does this corporate job or does this factory job, like my body, this doesn't feel right in my body. And I think that is really part of the awakening, part of the connection back to self as to what is life, what is the purpose of life. And I think that at its core is to just like feel full, feel fullness in every moment by what it is you're bringing to the earth, what it is you're creating. And so I do feel there's a lot of this creation energy coming through, especially in June has been like a creation portal, a very like fast momentum building month. And I think a lot of solutions have come forward in this month, a lot of chaos too. But I think there's this like wave of like creation and this wave of um like really beautiful energy that's bringing us to that fullness and to these realizations of like, if you're holding on to something that doesn't serve you, like it is being ripped from your life right now. It is really being like torn away from your life. And that too is part of this rebalancing. And um along with that, that's why I think these groups on the planet that have held power over a lot of people, whether they know it or not, they're retaliating. And that's why we're seeing all of this chaos, all of this talk of war and all of these things. It's retaliation because people are stepping in their power. They're no longer feeding these structures that have kept us so in our masculine and so disconnected from the true gifts that humans hold, which are very feminine, very in tune with the body, in tune with nature, living in harmony with one another, living in harmony with self, the internal voice. And so I think there are these different waves that are happening on the planet that are very feminine and speaking to that. And I think COVID was actually a really strong time that brought this like first kind of like glimmer of massive feminine energy, because a lot of people lost their jobs. They lost those structures. They lost what had been holding them kind of in that matrix, if you will. And they had to sit in their feminine. They were like, okay, what do I do? And it's like a lot of people turned to creating. A lot of people picked up new hobbies, baking bread, crocheting, even hiking. A lot of people, the parks had this resurgence. The parks were crazy during COVID, and that's beautiful. And that is like a subtle way of, yes, it was horrible while it was happening. It was terrifying. However, there is beauty in everything, and it actually really helped a lot of people connect back to their feminine, connect back to the earth, and to communication and these streaming platforms, right? Like a lot of people were able to share with one another, listen to one another. I know I tuned into so many Zooms, whether it was like my favorite channeler or my favorite music group. Even every day I was just listening to these Zooms and receiving the things that people were creating. And so I'm glad people are agreeing here, because I know, when you say COVID was a good thing, it's a hot take. But I think, yeah, when you're able to look at it from everything is serving us, it really did serve us in a magical way. And even the new shifts that are coming on the planet, I know a lot of people have fear about AI, but I think there is like a beauty to it if we are able to co-create with it and not let it, be our slave, or also not let it take away our own power. And so, but I really think it could potentially free up and start to shift the way people work. And if people aren't working, however, money is still circulating from these factories, does that mean we get paid to live? And I think that is definitely a very interesting possibility for the future. And I think, we are born with abundance frequency. We're born with the right to live. And a lot is shifting right now. And I just want to bring a positive outlook to that. Like, I think there's so much fear being sowed into what is occurring. And I know this, it still has to do with masculine and feminine in my eyes. Some people might think I'm off topic, but I really think it is part of this feminine resurgence on the planet.
Yep. The attempt to balance what was imbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way, I love that you use the COVID example and the education example. All of these examples are so prominent in my heart as well. And I do know how devastating and how deadly and how much
Yes.
loss, and how many
Yes.
people that I've done readings for that lost like 7, 8, 9 family members, just
I
all
Same.
it.
I lost
And
two during COVID. Mm-hmm.
and it is just absolutely devastating. But for us to be able to be in, hindsight is 2020, and look back and to see the blessings that it did bring. And this is what we're talking about, the balance, that because something terrible and hurtful and devastating is occurring, doesn't mean that something beautiful and
Yes.
creative and renewing is not happening. It's just hard to see at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is a balancing, and it is that awareness,
Mm-hmm.
um, that is just so beautiful. And I love that you also touched upon the communication, because that's really
Mm-hmm.
very important. And with that communication comes through with authenticity, communicating almost like telepathy, this
Mm-hmm.
authentic opening of our thoughts and our sharing of our thoughts, and, from an authentic place where everything is equal and balanced, and, from a vibration of love and peace and harmony. It comes right back to that balance of harmony.
Mhm.
We should rename the show Balance and Harmony.
Yeah, yes, for real. Yeah, yeah, because that is really it at its core. And I love that you mentioned too, while something negative might be occurring, that doesn't take away the beauty. That doesn't, and same with masculine, even though, or feminine, even if something masculine is occurring, that doesn't mean the feminine is not there. You have to claim your power in those moments and choose to see it, choose to feed it. And so with what's happening in the Middle East right now, that's heartbreaking. It's very heavy. It's very fear ridden. However, that doesn't take away from the beauty that's actually occurring on the planet. The young kids that are like shifting so many things, creating solutions, all of the people that are striving to make a better world, us here communicating about this to better ourselves for the expansion of humanity. Just because this one, and I don't want to belittle it, I don't want to not validate how crucial and sacred everything that's occurring over there is happening, but I just want to like it's reclaiming your power and choosing to see the beauty, and that will actually do way more than sending your money somewhere, donating it, and is that money even getting to the people? Are those supplies reaching we have no idea. But the most powerful thing you can do right now is to sit in that nurturing feminine energy, to just sit in meditation each night, send love to that area of the world, send love to Mother Gaia herself, send love to the shifts, and then to just focus on the positive, focus on the beautiful, focus on like all that is occurring, the potential that humanity has. And that will actually be the strongest shift that anyone can do, rather than turning on the news, bickering about what's occurring, and then focusing on really what the powers that were probably want you to focus on, to feed all the chaos and their old structures. It's no longer time to feed that, and it's time to reclaim your power, and do so by choosing where your focus goes. Our focus is light, our focus is currency. And can we focus on the feminine nurturing aspect and nurture ourselves and nurture the earth through intention? Right now, I think, is the strongest thing that we could be doing. And I have a YouTube channel, and I often bring through messages and channeled energies, and the Eternal Mother really came through and was like, the father has carried too much. The father is breaking down, and the feminine needs to hold him. The feminine needs to hold him, wrap her arms around him, and like help him stand back up. And it's time. That's why we're seeing this strong dismantling and all of this chaos. It is that masculine energy as we knew it is like dying right now, and we need to hold him or that energy through this next rebirth, through this next evolution. And that really is through listening, receiving, and nurturing.
Yep. Yep. Converting that heavier energy. I just want to let everybody know that we'd like to go ahead and do some readings. We'll be taking questions for your readings. And I do have two people already starred. JK9, I have you. And Dolores, I have you. So if anybody would like a reading, just kindly put it in caps and emojis. And we'll be taking a few readings for the last half of the show here. And as in closing, I wanted to say that I love that you say to raise our vibration in the way that we look at these devastating situations instead of being in pain and, feeling devastated ourselves. Instead of embodying that devastation, that
Mm-hmm.
we change that and embody love and
Mm-hmm.
embody, survival and embody gratitude for them showing the whole world that this is not the way life is. This is not the
Yes.
way humanity was supposed to be, that they chose to
Mhm.
be that image at reflecting to ourselves for us to wake up. All of
Yes.
this is for all of us to wake up. And if
Yes.
we could be in gratitude for everything that is not what we want, in gratitude for teaching us, showing us, and to being that soul to play that role in order for us to awaken and to raise this entire planet, this entire humanity into a more balanced and harmonious world, or I guess realm. I don't know.
Mhm.
And this is, I think, really such an amazing opportunity for all of us, and we can look at it in any way that you want. We all have free will, but just think, if we all looked at it as this, with gratitude and with
Mhm.
love and with appreciation, and knowing that this is awakening humanity. I mean, how much that our intention, our feelings, our thoughts are so much more powerful than we realize.
Truly.
um
Truly.
yeah.
I love that you
I
said
love it.
it's happening for our awakening and for us to choose differently in the future. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
It's, I just want to cry because it touches my heart. When you say that back to me, that was really powerful. So thanks
Mhm.
for repeating that. I needed to
Absolutely.
hear it too.
Yes. Yes.
Um, all right. So Startseas says, Archangel Michael always tells me when I'm worried and stressed out, the present moment, in the present moment, all is well.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so I wanted to start with JK9. And JK9, if you can just say hello. After JK9 is Michelle Krantz, and after Michelle is Dolores.
Sounds
And then
good.
we'll continue from there.
Mhm.
Okay, so JK9, if you're still here, just say hello. And we're going to do like an energy reading for you. I don't know if she's still here. You just hide it in case she comes back. Um, okay, so the next would be, let's go on to Michelle, and then if JK9 comes back, we'll take her.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, so Michelle, you're first, and she would like a general reading. Okay, very good. I love those. What are they, little cats? What are they? They're so
Yeah, yeah,
cute.
little cats, I think. Okay.
It's going to take a second to tune in. And you can jump in, Marissa, if you
Mhm.
get something.
Okay. Immediately I hear turn left. And I think that's because they're saying that you aren't quite sure where to go. I feel like there's like three paths that you're seeing right now. And the one that is to your left, the one that, and it's interesting too, because the feminine nature is left on the body, whereas the masculine is the right. And so, whatever is able to really feed your heart, whatever is able for you to receive, sit in receiving, it's the more maybe intuitive path that feels very left to me, and it's not the one that you would choose is what it feels like it's definitely kind of the path, the least taken path, but they're saying to really follow that and to allow it to unfold, and you don't need to know everything right now, but uh, go with your strength and with your heart, and you will be held. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.
Mhm.
So, Michelle, the first thing I saw for you is an airplane. So, I'm not sure if that means anything for you. And I also felt a lifting or a flying. I also saw a beautiful hair flowing. And I know that just sounds really crazy, but I thought I'd mention it so that you could Let me know if any of these things make sense, because when I tuned into your energy to give you a reading, these are all the things, and it all has to do with like uplifting and flowing and airy. And I'm not I'm not sure if you can attribute that to anything that's going on in your life right now. Perhaps
Mm.
this is the way you may be feeling, or where you may be actual, if it's actual literal, or if it's figurative.
So she did comment she's going to be traveling next month,
Oh,
and wanting to move from where she's currently living. And I'm wondering if that location is to your left. Are you wanting to move to your left? Or maybe to the left, like I see the East Coast as the left for some reason. Because I think it's the direction that I'm facing. Yeah, maybe. Not sure.
mm-hmm,
That's beautiful though.
mm-hmm.
The airplane, that makes sense. A lot is happening. Yeah, it feels like new beginnings.
Mm-hmm. I do feel like you are more in your flow right now, Michelle. And I do feel that with these changes and with these decisions that you're making, you almost feel like a momentum coming behind you and helping you to flow, to be in your flow and to follow your soul's path. Um, and I do know that you are sensitive and aware. I feel like you have we all struggle with keep staying inside of that magical spiritual realm, um, but I feel as though you are tuning in each day and connecting with your higher self, and you do listen to those nudges and signs and synchronicities, and I do feel as though you're on the right path, and that's what I feel. But thanks for
Mhm.
validating that. Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right. I didn't see JK come back.
I didn't
So
know.
next we have Dolores. And after Dolores is Paper Jam. All right. Dolores says, my friend passed in 1982. The military was his death natural or something else. His name is David. He died in 82 in the military, comma,
Mhm.
was his death natural? Oh, okay. Oh, that's an investigative one. I'm going to
Yeah,
ask my pendulum.
yeah, go for it.
Well, first of all, Dolores, you are uh, you're a psychic. You're a psychic yourself. You have uh, you have strong intuitions and a lot of knowings. And if you have had this gut feeling in your gut all this time that you didn't think it was natural, I would trust your gut. Um, and whether, I mean, a young man in the military, I guess we could all go at any time. Is David, who passed in 82 when he died in the military, was this of natural causes? And it changed to no right away. I don't know if you saw that. So
Mhm.
David in the military, who passed in 1982, was his passing due to natural causes, and it changed right to no. So it's not natural causes. Um, I almost feel like it was a substance abuse, believe it or not. I know that I don't know how they could do
Mm.
that. I feel like it was something ingested or something that um, some sort of a toxin that was
Mm.
ingested that it wasn't natural. So this
I feel
hastened
like,
his passing, is what I
yeah,
felt.
I feel like alcohol potentially is coming forward for me at least. Yeah, alcohol and just liver. Liver is what it feels like, which is why
Hmm.
they may have. If they claimed it was natural, I'm wondering if that's why, if it was a substance. Um, but in your gut, you've thought it wasn't, and in truth it wasn't. Yeah.
I'm not sure if Dolores was still here. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask if she was still here.
That's all right.
Um,
She'll watch the recording, hopefully.
hmm hmm But yeah, that's what I was feeling. Just um, and to trust yourself. And a lot of times they say there is a saying by like a Rumi quote or somebody's quote that says the answer is in the question. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
if you have to ask, was it natural? Then there that there was something that just wasn't natural.
Yep.
So it was like something hastened his cross. It was like
Mm-hmm.
after ingesting this, then he died naturally. Like it was not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a murder. I don't think it was from somebody else's hand or a criminal type of thing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that the wrong thing was, something was ingested. I don't know, but I thank you for asking your question, Dolores.
Yes,
Aw,
thank you. I'm
she
glad that you were
says
here.
yes. I always felt what you said. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Trust yourself, Dolores. You are quite you know um, aware and I hesitate to
In
say
tune.
psychic, but I mean you are a psychic. You have psychic abilities. You're very strong intuition, and you have really good gut instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, and um, thank you for that question. So I don't think JK9 is back. Paper Jam or Starseed, or either one of you here? Paper Jam or Starseed? Yeah, I can put my banner back up. Yep. Paper Jam or Starseed? Are either of you here? Hi, Akila B. So nice to see you.
Starseed is here.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. I would love to get a message regarding my spiritual work or any message. Okay. Okay, Paper Jam, I see you. Thank you.
Mm. Starseed, I feel like you're a very in tune healer and very connected with the angelic realm. And I see your hands like very available to heal with your hands. And you kind of do this naturally with like family members or friends. And um, let me see. I see that like you've kind of been diving into this realm, but it's going to be shifting here soon. Or if it has already, there's going to be a shift in how you operate and how you go about your specific type of healing. Like new vibrations and new codes will be coming online for you, or maybe a new modality that will nicely co-create with what is already present for you. And I get that this new modality really is coming from another lifetime that is integrating right now. I see definitely a stronger channel, but also certain types of symbols that can be like drawn over the body or held over the body that help to move energy and really create a conducive environment for like rapid healing. Oh, I'm so glad you got chills. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. But you are a massive heal, like full body healer. Like sometimes when I see healers, it's just in the hands or maybe it's just in the voice. But like I see like your whole body is glowing and you really are activated as a healer in this lifetime, which is probably why you've attracted a lot of people that need healing. They're kind of like moths to a flame with you. And YouTube channel, but it feels like a lot of work and not. Yes. So I feel like in person is definitely like in person community, in person events, in person healing, and the symbols as well. And then don't totally write off the YouTube channel. Because it could grow in the future, but they really want you to focus on your like what's in front of you right now. Physical healing is your jam.
And Starseed, if you don't mind me saying, I feel like there's just a little bit of disbelief in you that you still don't believe who you are. And I know that you know who you are, but the believing and really embodying and really letting go of this ego aspect of who you are. Because it's not about the YouTube channel, it's about you bringing through this information and putting it out on the airwaves and
Mm-hmm.
trusting that it doesn't matter how big or how small. And I know it does, but it doesn't. It's you bringing this through and practicing this energy and um, and believing who you truly are. And I do feel as though in a past life or maybe in a parallel life that you are assisting the earth grid. Try and say
Mm-hmm.
that earth,
Ooh,
the earth's grid, and
I
that
just
you're
got
here to,
full
yep,
body chills.
to
Yeah.
yep, to bring through these energies.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to come through you, and you're saying, well, there's not as many people. They're like, we just want you to like just be there and do this, because if everybody else on the planet that is being there and doing this, it'll help to you know, raise the vibration. And I feel as though this is one aspect of your abilities, but and it has nothing to do with ego. It's not that one is better than the other or one is greater than the other. It's just believing in yourself that there is a higher reason for you doing what you're doing, and trusting that, and try not to analyze or um, uh, you know, judge it. And I know it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that that's part of you, and I know that that's part of me. I say things like that, but it's not just about judging or analyzing. It's about being here. It's about putting through the information and the frequency. So I think that it's all there and it's all ready for you, and all you have to do is step out of the way and trust that this is who you are. So I just like to suggest that you consider that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, she got that message that it doesn't matter how many people watch me, I need to share the message I channel. That's right.
Yes, it'll always find the right people. I get that message too about my YouTube channel. It might not have, the most views, but I know exactly that whoever saw it, it hit them, it resonated, and they were meant to see it. So yeah, don't give up on that. And find
Now,
community. Yeah.
yeah, now is the time for us to step into our own power, to our own abilities, to our authenticity, to our divine self. It's important
Mhm.
now. The energies, like Marissa was saying, that June has this creative energy. They need us to step into this energy and to access our divine um, you know, information and energy to share it with the world, because now is the opening. There is a really
Mhm.
beautiful opening. There is a, a opportunity for us to get that balance back in balance, to get that imbalance back into balance.
Yeah.
And they want all of us to step into our own practice, whether it's with ourselves, with our family, or with the public. They want us to step into it.
Mhm.
Aw, Michelle says, I just
Oh,
subscribed to Marissa.
yay!
Thank,
Oh, thank you, Michelle. So
thank you,
excited.
Michelle. Mm-hmm. Yep, we're being asked to accept who we truly are, our
Mhm.
true divine divinity, for sure. Thank you, Val. Um, The
Oh,
combination of both messages is amazing. Marissa, what did you mean by using symbols?
so I wanted to say, as Jean was talking, I just started like naturally just like drawing on the page. And I wanted to mention that. So I'm glad you said something. Because I feel like because your hands are so activated, that is where the creation can come through. And so it's important to kind of, you can channel that information through your hands onto paper in the form of symbols. And these symbols or these drawings will actually help you to activate. And that's the new earth kind of energy that's coming through you from this other lifetime, is that you have been using these symbols or these specific, like geometric, sacred geometry figures in your healing, and you're learning how to do that. And a way to jump spark this learning and this new momentum that's coming through you is to just channel it through your hands by drawing. Just you don't even have to know what you're doing, just allow your hand to go and allow spirit to just move through your hands. And then with each drawing, I'm getting that you'll kind of look at it when you feel it's complete, and you will know the energy that it holds. So maybe during a session or maybe on YouTube, you say, this is for love, or this is for release, or this is for, activation. And you can share these symbols with people on a larger scale, or also in individual sessions. And it's interesting because I feel like this kind of technology is coming online for a lot of people. I am also a symbols person, and I have an oracle deck that I'm channeling. And yours might look like painting, it might look, like light language art. But a lot of these like a lot of this information is coming through like tangible form.
She says she's following you on Instagram and
Oh,
going to sub to your YouTube. I
love.
always draw cubes.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm an artist and want to work on an automatic. That's amazing. Yes, yes. I definitely got that. You are channeling like a lot of codes and information through your hands, and to use that in your healing sessions. Yes. That's beautiful. Oh,
Wow.
thank you. Thank you.
Good for you, Starseed. Good for you.
Yes.
Wow. And next we have Abby. This is Abby, and she goes by Paper Jam. Did anybody notice that everybody has like an at symbol before their name? Did you ever do
Yeah.
everybody has that at symbol? I think that they just changed something that we all have an at symbol before our names here. I think that's new. I don't remember seeing that. Oh, okay. That one
Hmm.
doesn't, but this one
Mm,
does. I don't know if that means it's on my channel or not, but even
mm,
my name has an at symbol.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
I'm
mean
not
to
sure.
distract everybody.
I've always seen it in the comments, but not, yeah, when you pull it up to the screen.
Yeah, yeah, that's they're always improving and making these changes.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
always a surprise. Oh, you think YouTube just changed it today? Okay,
Huh.
thanks, Val. See,
Oh, so
just
they're coming
just
in from
today.
YouTube. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yep.
Mhm.
Cool.
No, that's okay. That's okay. She's on her son's channel.
Oh,
That's okay. Um,
beautiful.
so Paper Jam says, Abby says, I would love a message from the Galactic Guides. I would also love to know if they are revealing themselves in the night sky. Wow. Well,
I would
the
say
answer is
yes.
in
Yeah. I would say yes. If you're asking, it's probably a yes.
the answer is in your question for sure. Yeah, yeah. If you're asking, they definitely are. And
Hmm.
this is the time. I think that they said the last 6 months of 2025 we'll be seeing a lot
Oh,
more
yeah.
lights in the sky, or
Hmm.
validations that they're here.
Hmm.
I have yet. I think I saw something like maybe 20 years ago. Um, and what it was like a red light above the clouds. And I thought, what is that?
Interesting.
Yeah. So I wasn't really sure. And because it was like cloudy and overcast and just like a light that came through the clouds, I wasn't sure where it was coming from. So I just dismissed it. But I've never actually saw one, a craft, but I've definitely connected to ETs, and I have ET guides, and that they are, and the galactic, when I do my meditations, the galactic council comes in, and
Mhm.
they're extremely loving and very supportive,
Yes.
and they're quite like short. They don't use a lot of words.
Yeah.
They like say, "Be here now." Like that's their message, and you're like, "What?
Mhm.
Tell me, what does that mean?" But
Yep.
it's really neat. So go ahead, Marissa. What did you get?
Oh, here, wait.
Oh, okay. Let
Yeah,
me let
sorry.
me
I'm
just.
sorry.
No, no. I thought you were
Sorry
ready.
to you.
I'll jump in. So what your galactic guides are telling you is to believe and to trust, and it's about the awareness. They are helping us to awaken and almost validating, almost helping us to remember. When we awaken, it's not something new that we're learning. It's something that's always been within us that we're remembering, that we're embodying, that we're able to now become. Um, it's almost like being a child moving to an adult. Like we were always who we are, but we're in a new version, in a more um, elevated, or you know how an adult is much more advanced than a child would be, but they're the same person. So this is with the awakening and the awareness, we become more equipped to understand who it is that we are and what it is that we are and where we come from. But this is your galactic council is there to help you to awaken and to become aware and to remember.
Mhm. I had that's beautiful, yes. Because it is such a beautiful remembrance. It's something that's already within you. And they were saying to me, I got very Arcturian energy, but they were specifically saying that they've been doing a lot of work on your body lately. I don't know if you have some health issues that have been flaring up or that seem to be kind of strong right now, but they're saying like don't worry about it, don't feel defeated. It's more so that they're working on your body to help kind of release it, and by tinkering on it so much, that's creating a bit of a like a flare up. And a lot of galactic guides will actually be working on uh, that's such an interesting, they said the word like specimen. Like if you came here as a star seed, or you came here with a group of guides that are helping you, you are in a way like a human specimen. But that's not like in like a weird way or anything. It's more so like they volunteered to be a human. So my higher self, I would say, is a galactic being, and she volunteered to step into this human specimen to come down here and help. And so I have a team that also I call upon to help my body, and so they're just like helping you to grow in and to take in a lot of like the vibrations that are occurring on Earth, a lot of the frequencies. Your body has been in a place where it hasn't been intaking as much as it can, and so they're working to kind of dis that's an interesting way, like take away the charge from those specific health issues. I feel like it's like gut related, or like in your abdomen somewhere. um they're really helping to like awaken that part of you and to help you hold more energy there, and that's why it feels like flared up right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Abby. And Abby says, wow.
Wow. Yes, yes,
Hmm.
it's always interesting what
Hmm.
comes through.
Hmm. So thank you very much, Abby. All the best to you. And thank you for your question and for being here. So this is our, you're welcome. She says, thank you both very much. So this is our last question for the day, everybody. And we thank everybody for being here. So
Thank
Jen
you.
Bowles, hey, Jen, she says, was the big arc or dome I saw late in the night across the sky galactic or something else? I'm going to use my pendulum, but my pendulum usually proves me wrong. my gut instinct was that it was an atmospheric phenomena. It was an earth energy kind of thing. So, was this arc and dome that Jen saw across the sky? Was this coming from the galactics? See, went right to no. Was this an natural Earth phenomena? Yes, it's a natural Earth phenomena. Was this a sign or a symbol for Jen? Yes, it was there for you to see. Oh, look how fast that is going. Jen,
Mm-hmm.
it was there for you to see, for you to have the amazement or the wonderment or the
Mm-hmm.
miraculous and possibilities of what it could look like here on earth. Like it was there for you to see, for you to
Mm-hmm.
actually notice or feel something and be reminded of something, of how it could be, or how great Mother Earth's divinity or frequency is. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was there for you to see, for sure. It was like
Yeah.
a
It's
an
like a
awakening.
spark of gratitude, yeah, to awaken to, like, yeah, the amazing that happens here on planet Earth. Like, it was like it's a moment of, yeah, like, beauty that gets to enter your world to remind you that it's always all around. You just have to watch for it.
Yeah, and I do think it's part of the miraculous wonderment of the nature and of Gaia, and that you could appreciate it. And with your new site, um, I think it's beautiful. Oh, so Starseed, you're saying that being on keto and doing intermittent fasting helps you what? Helps your connection, helps your awareness. Because I do think that I don't know about keto itself, although I understand it and I do see a lot of positive aspects. I think just us not having a lot of chemicals or a lot of, you know,
Additives.
yeah,
Yeah.
additives and stuff
Mhm.
and packaged
Yeah.
goods and preservatives. I think that, in itself, and drinking more water, I'm telling you, I think water is going to be our next, yeah,
Mhm.
physically and spiritually. Yep.
Yeah, we're
Um,
already seeing signs of, like, water. Like, Veda Austin, if you haven't seen her work, oh my goodness, she speaks to water, or she lays water over a picture, freezes the water, and the water freezes on a molecular level as the picture, and she's doing, like, a lot of science with water intelligence. It's really, I completely agree, like, water is gonna be the next big thing that I feel like we get to learn about. But same, the intermittent fasting, I have also been naturally doing this, not even trying. But our bodies, the more high vibrational we get, the less food I feel like some people need. But it goes in waves. Like lately, I've actually been like really hungry. So just listen. It's just that feminine aspect of listening to your body. Listen to what your body needs, and what might work for someone else might not work for you. And that doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean your body's weird. It just means your body is on a completely different timeline, on a completely different level of working. And yeah, I will say that I also eat gluten free, which I think is mostly keto. It's like cutting out carbs. I eat a lot of fruit, but I don't eat gluten or dairy, and that seems to really support my channel and my frequency. But it's up to everyone else, to
yep.
determine that for yourselves.
Yep, it's important to listen to our own guidance and our own feelings, and it's wonderful when we have the ability to change something and see the miraculous difference. It's
Hmm.
not always easy, you guys, because there's always that graduation party or something that they have that big beautiful cake. They should have like a, I don't know, a big beautiful natural spring waterfall or something. Like there's got to be something better.
Hmm.
We'll have to think of something. All right. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you, Marissa, for coming in
Yeah.
and talking about the divine masculine and feminine and the shifts on the planet, and for staying and answering some questions with us. And I look forward to having you back again soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Do you have
Much
anything
love
that
to
you
you.
want to tell everybody if you have
Oh
something
yeah.
coming up?
Yeah, so I do guided meditations on YouTube, light language activations. I'm finishing up my 21 days of light language on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So if you want 21 days of activations, go over to the channel and check it out. I also have the Earth to Marissa podcast. Go listen to Jean's episode. It was such a lovely episode and our first time gathering in communication, which was fabulous. And then, yeah, just stay tuned for live events and the channeled
Yeah,
messages that come through all the time. I do a lot of alien and galactic things. So that's always fun. And that is what seems to be drawing my focus right now. So stay tuned.
agreed. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Marissa. I'll be back for the psychic triad this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, and I look forward to seeing you all back again. Take care, everybody.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.